Next blog post is going to be titled "What Makes You Qualified," and then the
What's
next.
that about? What's it going to be about?
Just me giving what it is that makes me qualified. It's also going to talk about how you know, when you first decide to do something, especially what others may not know of you as, because a lot of people know me as a poet. They don't know that I have other skills, that I'm talented in many other things. And so, you know, they kind of look at you crazy, like, who does she think she is? Why does she think she could do this? Like, what? She's a what? Qualified. How does she qualify? What makes her qualified? And I wanted to write it because I feel like there's probably other people out there that's like, man, you know, maybe they feel like they don't qualify enough to own a business or anything like that. And it's like, they probably do though. They probably do. I think that a lot of us don't realize how many skills we really have, and the word business or entrepreneurship scares us so much that we think, oh, I'm not good enough. I don't qualify for that. And it's like, if you freaking worked at McDonald's before, you qualify. Seriously. But it's just, this piece is just talking about my journey. The reason I feel like I qualify is because I worked since I was freaking 15 years old. I got my first job at 15, and this is the longest I've ever been without a job. 1 year, a year and a half. You know, this
15 years of straight working.
Straight working. I did not go without a job, and sometimes I have 2 or 3 of them. But I knew coming to Florida, I wouldn't have to work 2 or 3 jobs.
So what was your goal? Like, I know we'll be talking about within qualified, you've been heading towards entrepreneurship and business. Those are 2 key points you said. So is it that this year and a half you chose to pursue your efforts upon entrepreneurship and business? Absolutely. The company that I was with, which I absolutely love, but the company that I was with, they let me go for actually being 4 minutes late to work. 4 minutes?
4 minutes.
How long was you there before they let you go?
I was there a little over a year, and they called me their rock star.
And 4 minutes is enough.
And their lead recruiter. 4 minutes. Actually, the guy who let me go was new, and the first time he said something to me, I remember he was like, "You're not gonna make me do this, are you? I just see the look in your face." And you know, the look in my face was, you know where you can stick it. Business is business, and I understand.
Business is business is business.
So I totally understand.
Do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do. That's the face I had. Do what you gotta do, bro.
When he let you go, what was your initial feelings? How did you feel initially?
Well, I already said that I was gonna save. I was getting ready to save some checks and be out anyway. So it's the initial feeling was heartbroken, honestly, because I did not think. I felt like with what I put into working for them, 4 minutes wasn't enough to let me go. It was just not enough. So initially I was heartbroken because I took it a little bit personal.
You said it's business, but you took it.
I said it's business, but I took it a little bit personal. And I was just heartbroken, and also a little bit upset with myself. But then it was like, woohoo! It was like, yes! You know, and what really goes on too is you sit up there and you keep thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking so much about how you don't want to be somewhere, and guess what'll happen? You'll be removed. And that's basically what was going on. I was getting frustrated, not really wanting to keep working a job, and they do that. You know, I played hooky so I could go freaking do poetry somewhere before. Like, and they knew that. And a lot of times the guy who let me go, he would say, "Man, I see you doing your own thing. I see you're so talented. I see you with your own desk, with your own office." He'd say that, but.
Was he offering you an office with your own desk?
Of course he wasn't.
Of course not.
Why would he do that?
They just want you to stay in their box and do that, and then so.
And that's exactly
so
what it felt like, a box.
Absolutely. Shout out to COVID.
Absolutely. No, seriously.
Was it COVID?
No, I
was
felt.
it COVID?
For me, I felt like COVID was the best thing that ever happened. I apologize to anybody that went through it because of it, and whose family suffered or may have passed away or all of that. Like I wholeheartedly, hate all of that stuff.
But for you,
for me,
it's a blessing.
It's everything I asked for. It's everything I asked for. I wanted to come to Florida, and I knew I could come and make more money than what I was making. But the whole thought process when I came here was to figure out how I could get to the point where I wasn't working for somebody else. My dad never worked for nobody as long as I can remember.
Is he the one who inspired you to get into business and entrepreneurship?
No, actually, I wouldn't say that he was it. I would say more so a lot of the women that I met out here in Tampa. For a while, for years, I thought that being an entrepreneur, being an artist full-time or as a career, I thought that wasn't in reach. I thought that being a writer wasn't in reach, that you only see that type of stuff on TV. Someone in my family told me, focus on something, realistic. Focus on something that you can actually reach. And so I started trying to find different things to focus on, which usually led to me working a job, just over broke, 9 to 5. It just led to me being a slave.
You don't got paid when the clock getting clocked out.
Exactly.
And so with this year and a half of being out of quote unquote work,
corporate America,
but you've been having an opportunity to, be an entrepreneur. How has that path been? I know it's not easy.
Heck no! It's the hardest thing I ever did in my life.
It hasn't been worth it.
It's been worth it. It's been so freaking worth it. Like, it's been so worth it. I love waking up in the morning and I don't have to jump up and get ready and try to make it there so I'm not 4 minutes late.
You're not on that schedule. You're on your own.
I'm on my own schedule. I'm on my own time. The people that I work with understand that too. It's like one of the first things we talk about. One of the first.
With this newfound thing, are you able to survive? When I even say survive, are you able to live now as opposed to survive? Or are you like at the same level as you was when you was working, but you can eventually make more or get better because you're now working for self?
When you say live versus survive, definitely living versus surviving. Because previously it was survival, and I didn't even realize I was broke. Don't get me wrong, still broke, but I didn't realize how much I actually had. And maybe I just needed to be grateful for what I did have. But a lot of people don't make $25 an hour. A lot of people don't make $20 an hour. I freaking made $9 when I lived in Tennessee. So it's like I probably should have been a lot more grateful for that survival time. But I'm a lot more grateful for this time. For feeling like I get to live. Don't get me wrong, it is hard. It is days where I've spent days crying my butt off, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. Like I can't even begin to explain. It's everything I dreamed of. It's everything I wanted. It's everything I wanted.
So it's worth the hell that comes with it.
It's worth the hell that comes with it. At the end of the day, I'm gonna go through hell working for somebody else anyway.
So why not go through hell working for
I'd rather
yourself?
go through hell for myself. I'd just rather do it for myself.
That makes so much sense.
And quite frankly, I make the same amount of money as I did working for somebody.
With a little bit more freedom. A lot more freedom, I'm sure.
With a lot more freedom.
You don't have to worry about being 4 minutes late and getting fired.
Nope. Sure don't. No one can fire me.
That is dope. So
So this piece, what makes you qualified? Most people don't know that I walk 5 miles to work 2 or 3 jobs on my feet. I work till they hurt. I had no clue what I wanted. I just knew I wanted to eat. I tried church, and when churches didn't work, I went back to looking for a feast. I tried to work against my God-given talents. Some would call it sleep. I assumed I was just napping. Too distracted, the voices in my head just kept on laughing, and now people outside my dreams keep asking me, what makes you qualified? The shoes on my feet when my back was against the wind, who I was and what it was then when I kept losing and couldn't find a reason to win except the small stuff. When I pretended to fit in and I had no luck. It's the moment I remembered I am not your latest trend, but I'm still built tough, and if you're lucky, you'll get to experience me in all of my glory.
So finally, who are you again?
I am J Lotus.
And where can we find you?
At I am J Lotus. Thanks so much.